So today we're going to talk about sound and form and vibration and healing and our bodies and Ho'oponopono and how it all ties in. When I went to Bali for this retreat, we ended up spending every morning for 4 hours listening to the Dharma on mantras. So then when I got home, inquiring minds want to know, I did a deep dive on mantras and sound and science and needing to understand what was happening to me, through me, what healing was taking place, and how I could help others with this experience. And now that I am fully in tuned with the masters and teachers of Akasha, I go into this realm and I do my meditation there, and I will ask questions and then I'll get answers. And sometimes I just use it as my foundation to do my other healing. Like I'll open up my records and then I'll go do healing work or meditations or whatever. It's kind of like this base frequency of beingness with these teachers. It's like you're tuning into a channel and they're there for you, holding a space. And then you do what you want with that space that's to your highest and best good. And so I can't wait to tell you all that I have learned about sound and mantras. So mantra means sound. That's what mantra means, is sound. And a sound is it's a utterance of a syllable. And mantra was, the syllables were written in Sanskrit. And I don't know if you've ever done any deep diving on Sanskrit, but it is a language of sound and taking sound and creating it into form. And so Sanskrit is very sensitive to sound. And so mantras were created thousands and thousands of years ago so that you would have a key to existence, of making sound into form, bringing it into existence. It reminds me of that note in the Bible in the very beginning in Genesis when God uttered, "Let there be light," and then existence came into play. That is the utterance of sound. It's the creation. So what I've realized is that I found this. Science has said that all of existence is a reverberation of energy, vibrating at different levels in different dimensions. So we know now that everything is vibrating, and if something's vibrating, there's a sound somewhere that goes with it. And so sound is form and form is sound. So when you know the oscillation graphs where you have this canvas and you put like sand on it and you play music. So that's part of science, right? They play the music. Depending on what you're listening to, it makes these beautiful geometric shapes. Sound makes form. When you play something, some acid rock, and the sand has no symmetry, no geometric wholeness, and it's bouncing, that's creating chaos. And so wherever there's form, your desk, your computer, your hand, it's vibrating a sound of creation. And so when we can learn how to take syllables and put them together, which is a mantra, we have the key to bring in an experience into our being. And different mantras affect different parts of your body, different energy centers, different ways of being. So going back to Sanskrit and mantras, so mantras were written a long time ago, and all of these different, so Buddha brought mantras forward. Hindus have mantras. And the first mantras were in Sanskrit in sutras. As we move forward to today, we have things like tuning forks for healings. And tuning forks, you hit it on your palm of your hand, it makes a vibration. They put it over a part of your body and it removes the block that's stuck in that part. It vibrates it out. It raises the frequency, shifts it, creates change, and releases the block. And so here we are in these modern times with all of this information about sound, vibration, and form. And what it has made me very aware of is everything out of my mouth is very powerful. When you say how you feel about somebody doing something, you are creating a vibration that goes to them. And if they don't have a protection shield, they could absorb that because it's sound waves. So we have to teach ourselves and the world to be very careful of everything that we utter and the power in it, because it does create form. So even when we go into our meditations and we set our intention, that intention is going to set the stage for our experience in our meditation. So my goal now is to set my intention and really go into the emptiness, to go into the silence and not think. And when I hear myself thinking and I see my story, sometimes I bring Ho'oponopono to my meditation. Thank you. Love you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing this into my awareness. And I just very quickly, love you. Thank you, while I'm meditating. And it just goes, 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 goes. So one of the mantras that is practiced around the world, it is the most famous mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum. And the thing about mantras is I was reading, because I was having this like, well, my accent and their accent, and everybody comes from different parts in the world. And I'm understanding the sensitivity to sound and syllables. And so the message I got was, yeah, it's important. Don't have an accent. Don't add anything to it. I was expecting to hear what I wanted to hear. No, learn it, study it. Go watch YouTube videos of a Chinese Buddhist monk chanting it and do it like them. And so that's when I created that PDF file for you. There's 2 links on there. One is how to pronounce it, and the other one is the mantra that they say 108 times. So the thing is about a mantra and I wanted to emphasize that a mantra, if you just say the syllable without awareness to the power in it that you want to cultivate within you, you will dull your mind. Any syllable repeated over and over and over without intention or awareness to cultivate dulls. And sometimes we want dulling. Sometimes we will listen to something to keep us in a trance state, right? I mean, there's time and place for dulling the mind, but when you're doing a mantra, that's not the goal. So different mantras hold different benefits. And Om Mani Padme Hum is, let's go look at it because it's so powerful. Yeah, what's really cool about Avalokiteshvara, he was the creator of the mantra in the Sanskrit, but Avalokiteshvara has transmuted to Guanyin through China over the last, I don't know, thousands of years, this divine feminine coming through. So when depending on your sector, whether you're in Tibet, a Tibetan Buddhist, or a Buddhist from China, or you're a Hindu, Hindi, you have different forms. Like the Hindi may imagine Shiva, who Avalokiteshvara is a creation from, and then Guanyin. So this consciousness, this awareness keeps transmuting and changing as humanity needs it to be. The Dalai Lama said that if we chant this millions of times, we will grow into our light body. He says, this is the mantra. He talks about it constantly. Sadhguru, right? Hinduism, they also honor Om Mani Padme Hum. But when I think about all of these great religious leaders coming together and honoring each other and sharing each other's practices and honoring Christ and honoring Buddha and honoring Guan Yin and Shiva, and they're all completely different religions. But they're saying it's not about religion anymore. It's about activating the light within and stepping into our light body, letting go of the carbon body. Using the mantra is the key to existence, of unlocking the keys to creation. It's very powerful. And so if you resonate with a mantra and you bring it into your daily, you will see changes. And I'll share something. My son is in Austin, but he called me in the middle of the night and he says, I have to come home. I had to get him home on an airplane. The whole thing was very traumatic. He had friends involved that turned on him. It was just a thing. And so I got him home. I woke up in the morning. In my mind, I'm like, I'm going to write a letter to this boy and his mother, and I'm going to, tell them how they should be more aware of each other. And I'm thinking of it in a spiritual way, but I'm also going in with the shoulds and shouldn'ts of how they should and shouldn't be. And the bottom line is everybody's acting out their story. I can't take it personally. I need to have compassion for all of these boys involved and go do a mantra and heal myself. And with that awareness, I did Om Mani Padme Hum. When I was done, when I shared this with Karen, she goes, yeah, it was like, you didn't even know what you're mad about. I said, exactly. It was completely healed from me. And it was a traumatic event that hurt my son physically. Very traumatic. And I was fine. I completely had there was no forgiveness because there's nothing to forgive. It was just seeing everybody clearly in their story and having compassion for them. And I had no attachment to any of it. I could really step back and just do my part. And it's the mantra. It was the mantra. So I encourage you to try it, because the thing is, in life, you can hold the key or somebody else can hold the key and we can let them tell us the information. And I love teachers, so grateful for them. And I will continue to listen to people that have other keys than I have. But I'm going to open up as much of the unlocked doors within myself that I can. So let's just read this for a minute. The meaning of Om Mani Padme Hum, Tibetan Buddhism. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, says that if you recite the 6-syllable mantra to cultivate bodhicitta, bodhicitta is a word in Sanskrit that means enlightenment or full awareness. So if you do this to cultivate bodhicitta and insight into emptiness, over a period of months and years, your experience of them will deepen. Also, you can transform your impure body, speech, and mind into the pure, exalted body, speech, and mind of a Buddha. It is the way to liberation. And when you go search about this mantra online, you will see that word liberation a lot. It is the mantra to enlightenment. Rinpoche says, the mantra is easy to say yet quite powerful because it contains the essence of the entire teaching. When you say the first syllable Om, it is blessed to help you achieve perfection in the practice of generosity. Ma helps you perfect the practice of pure ethics. And Ni helps achieve perfection in the practice of tolerance and patience. Pa, the 4th syllable, helps to achieve perfection of perseverance. Me helps achieve perfection the practice of concentration. And the final 6th syllable, Hum, helps achieve perfection the practice of wisdom. So in this way, recitation of the mantra helps achieve perfection in the 6 practices from generosity to wisdom. The path of these 6 perfections is the path walked by all Buddhas of the 3 times. What could then be more meaningful than to say the mantra and accomplish the 6 perfections? And then I just give some history to it. 4th century, thank you, in a sutra. That's where it was. So what I'd like to do is play this YouTube video of how to say Om Mani Padme Hum, because the spelling is different. So you might want to take some notes. So I had to write it out how it sounds, because how it's spelled on the paper is not how we in English translate it. So you might want to write it out in syllables for yourself. So if you look at this picture and you visualize Guan Yin above you in the sky while you're chanting it, you will be cultivating the awareness of compassion and all the teachings of the 6 syllables within you without having to think of the words, because she embraces that in her presence. And so to recite a mantra, you always want to sit with nothing crossed, and you can do it laying down. You just don't have anything crossed. It's like any other meditation. And then when you start breathing, you do the mantra, you visualize her in her mind, and you will find that your mind will wander, and that's okay. Just come back to visualizing her. What's nice about having a visual is it keeps your awareness on the mantra. And it's combining these different aspects of the mantra together, the sound, your eyes are closed, you're going within, you could have a visual of Guan Yin. And to do it 108 times, if you get a mala beads contain 108 beads. You go around your mala, and when you get back to the big bead, you've done 1 mala, and you're actually energizing that mala. Every bead that you touch with sound activates your mala beads. So I was actually given this from the teacher. Well, I paid for it. I got this from the teacher. Let me show it to you. Stop to share for a minute. So this is lapis lazuli, which is the medicine Buddha color. And so when you chant the medicine Buddha, which we're going to do next week, because I've been practicing and it's very healing, you would visualize the medicine Buddha in blue or the color blue as you do the mantra, and you just it brings in this that healing energy. So like the medicine Buddha mantra is around healing energy and letting go of blockages, and all of the mantras are ways towards enlightenment of different aspects of healing. All this stuff is coming up to clean. It's coming up to purify. So it's really good that we're seeing it all. It's good that all the darkness is coming to the surface to be healed within ourselves first, which will heal them. Because our reactiveness to the chaos means it's in us. Until we're at a point that we can look at all that chaos with love and compassion fully, with no reaction of negativity, we got to clean it up in ourselves. But our vibration of that space that we bring out to the world, we are healing the world in a big way, bigger than I realized. I mean, I knew we were awesome, but now I know how awesome. We're more awesome than we even know. Rodney.
Yeah, I just wanted to share. I read about this mantra one time and I said, what does it mean? It encompasses all the teachings of Buddha.
All teachings in one mantra. That's why it brings enlightenment and helps us step into the light body. Thank you, Rodney.